Hey there, Wargamers. This is Justin the Iron Painter from Death Ray Designs, and today, I think it's my 5th video blog. Pretty sure it's my 5th one. I'd like to welcome you guys back, and I'm going to give you guys some updates on what's going on this week. So first and foremost, I'd like to get out in front of a few things that have kind of bothered me. Some of you guys that are familiar with me from Twitch or in real life, kind of know that I struggle with anxiety and panic and stuff like that from time to time, and OCD when it comes to minis, especially guys on Twitch who have seen me OCD out on more than one occasion. But we've been doing some battle reports, and I've done 3, 2 of which the footage was good. 1 should be going up soon, if it's not already. But I'm struggling. Not only am I not playing 40K as much as I did when I started back in 2010, and not as familiar with the rules, I'm really struggling to stay excited and motivated and happy, and that's a problem. I want to play, but sometimes your brain just doesn't work right, So I just want to apologize to you guys if you're watching the battle reports and my mood kind of swings a bunch. I'm really trying to stay motivated and excited, but there's a lot of stuff that happens that tends to bleed out in our hobby lives. Whether, for example, if you're an artist and you do oil painting, your emotions and what you're feeling at the time probably come through in your art. And I think that holds true for miniature painters too, at least for me, but also with the battle reports. That should be a time when playing games that you push everything in real life aside and you try and have a good time. And that's what I'm struggling with, even with the battle reports, even with Bob, who's the guy I've done the 2 that the footage worked well with. He's a super nice guy. I love playing with him. The games are relatively close all the time. But I still feel like, I get agitated, or I have a hard time just staying in a happy mood. So if that's coming through on the screen, I want to apologize to you guys, because I want to be entertaining, but I don't want to be fake, so it's difficult. So one of the things that I would like to really implore upon you guys is that when you play tabletop games, make sure you try and use that as your outlet, your decompression time. You're there to unwind and relax. And the same thing with hobbying and painting. And that's why for a long time in my Twitch career, which we'll get to that momentarily, I really tried to, impose upon people the idea that your fun doesn't come at the expense of someone else. If you make them not have fun, you're really hurting, yourself in the hobby. So that's the same thing here. Make sure you go in and you're trying to be excited and have a good time. And if you're not having a good time, try and identify why. If it's you, try and make those changes. If it's the person you're playing with, have a conversation with them about what's going to make it fun for both of you. And if you can't come to a compromise, just make sure that you find what it is in gaming and hobbying that makes you happy. Hopefully that comes across well. Maybe I'm just panicking and worrying about silly stuff, but I do want you guys to come back and watch battle reports. I want your feedback, and I feel like that's something that some people may have noticed. Maybe I'm the only one, but getting out in front of that and talking about it, because it is a bit of a serious topic. So moving on to happier things, though. Some of you guys saw in the Garrison Facebook group a post that I put up maybe about a week ago of a picture of a Elgato HD capture card internal. Some of you know what that is, some of you don't. What that is a piece of hardware that goes into the computer that allows you to run an HDMI cable from a camera into the computer. So if you would plug in a webcam and it shows whatever you want it to show, if you get this piece of hardware, you're able to plug in a camera like you would a webcam and show what's showing on the screen. So what does that mean? Twitch. I was using an external card before. I went ahead and bought the internal to get something better, hopefully better quality, better footage, and so forth. But that means I'm coming back. I've discussed with Austin setting up an area in his space here. He is 100% down to try and facilitate me live streaming from the shop, especially while I'm out here working. And I've got a few hours several nights a week that I can get on there. I'll be back to painting stuff. It may not be the exact same format as it was with tutorials and commissions and so forth, but I will be on there painting my personal models and maybe doing some tutorial things, but that is coming. So all you guys who have continued following me and supporting me even after I took my hiatus from Twitch, I am coming back. It is gonna happen. So I'm a little bit excited about it. Not so excited about the initial reloading everything. It's still on the same computer that I was using, but reinstalling software or updating software, getting everything formatted, that's a little bit daunting, but I don't think it'll be too bad. I'm trying to tell my brain, just calm down. It's okay, it's Twitch. You're just doing this to have a good time. Just relax. So hopefully that'll be part of my decompress, unwind time where I can directly socialize with you guys who have followed me and you guys in the Facebook group and stuff like that, and also get a little bit more motivated to paint. I have been painting out here at the shop while I've been running the laser machines, but having you guys socialize with me at the same time kind of makes the painting time not feel so monotonous. So, yeah, that's exciting. On that topic though, segueing into Dark Angels updates this week, it's a sad week indeed, folks. No Dark Angels updates. There are a few reasons for that. I have 2 outstanding commissions that I have to get done. Some of you guys are probably thinking, well, Justin, I thought you said you were done doing commissions. You're correct. But sometimes when you need the cash and you want to make investments in your Twitch stream and things like that, you pick up the extra work where you can. So I did. And I've got 2 projects that I'm currently working on. One of them is these Gundam fellows. They're kind of large. They kind of look cool, but I don't know much about them. All I know is that the guy wanted me to paint them. He wanted them to be black. And there's 6 of them here. I don't know anything about them. I know that this guy is the leader dude. Whatever he actually does, I don't know. Or who he is, I don't know. But it's kind of big. Fortunately, the paint scheme on it is not overly complicated, and I don't have to spend a whole lot of time like edge highlighting and stuff for the detail level, but he should look cool once we get the silver on him and some of the glows, like in here and on his visor and his sword and so forth. He's also got some decals that he wants me to put on there, so we'll throw some decals on. They're not like official Gundam ones. Actually, look like they were bolt action and 40K, but we'll throw some decals on there and try and spice them up. And then he did the basing on this one. I'm not sure exactly what he wants me to do paint-wise on it, and it's actually just an old CD that he's mounted it on. I'm thinking about talking to Austin about cutting some base toppers that are scaled up to be this size of the ring, and maybe do up some Warp Strider or something like that for him, and ship those out and see if that surprises him. So we'll see. In addition to that, the other commission I've got going on outside of the Gundams is these fellows. These are for Jason Murray from the Garrison Facebook group. So we've got a Crimson Fist Primaris Captain and a standard Space Marine Captain. So we've got those going on. I'd like to have both these commissions done in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see what happens with that. The downside is when I'm working on commissions, I can't work on personal stuff, painting wise, and that's tough. I did try, I was trying to like set those aside and then work on painting, but when I do that, my brain goes, you should do these commissions and get them done. And it's really hard. Like the little guy with the whip in the back of my brain that's smacking me, he won't let me work on stuff when I have commissions, or at least not painting stuff. It's really tough. Because anytime I paint my own stuff, back of my mind's going, that stuff's not done. Would they be happy that you're painting minis and not painting their minis? So it's hard. And that's the balance. That's why I'm getting out of the commission game. That and, it's not sustainable right now, at least in my opinion. That doesn't mean I didn't get some hobby stuff done this week, though. Let me show you what I've been assembling. So on the table here, I've got some Chaos Marines. Why do we have Chaos Marines on the table, do you ask? Let me show you what I've got, what I've been working on, and we'll talk about it. So one of the things I've been working on is some Havocs here. So we've got some autocannon bros using the Forge World autocannons, and there's the glue kind of messed up a little bit. You see that whiteness because I started doing the hot water trick before the glue was fully done, so I had to do some cleanup work. We did a little bit of green stuff work down here to fill in some gaps, but I'm really digging these. I traded 2 guys from the Garrison. Dude's name is Michael, and oh man, your name is eluding me. Ugh. Oh, forgive me. It's Psycho from Twitch. Him and his son watch when I stream. He traded me. Your name is eluding me, but I remember your Twitch name, which is how I work. It's really weird. But they both traded me some Mark III Iron Armor Marines. So I took some of these bodies and I made some Havocs, which from the rulebook for Chaos, the Havocs with Marcus Slaanesh are pretty freaking baller. Like, they lay down some firepower. Why am I building Chaos Marines and talking about the Chaos Codex? Because I'm building a Chaos Army, and I never thought that would happen. Now, while I haven't got any Dark Angels painting this week, assembly-wise is my little trick for my brain when I'm not working on commissions and I can't force myself to paint because my brain won't let me. It will let me assemble. It's weird, but it does let me do that. So I've got 2 units of Havocs. I've got a Las Cannon squad. Now, these are not the Mark III, but I did try and use some of the bits when I could. So I've got the Mark III helmet on there, and we've got a 4-man Las Cannon squad. And we'll have a sergeant in there too. So here's the sergeant for the Las Cannons. And I used a variety of different bits and stuff on here, trying to make them look cool. But in particular, we've got that Mark III iron helmet on them. And that was remnants of stuff I had left over from Forge World. Now on this one, you'll see he's got the Mark III helmet that's not the resin, typical resin color. And that is because this one is from the plastic kit. We try to use some of the leftover arm bits and stuff and guns. He does not have the Mark III legs or that Mark III arm. But, you know, I figure over the last 10,000 years, maybe these guys have had to pick up gear off the ground, scavenge, and fix what they can because they're not part of the Imperium and they don't have that, you know, armory logistics type stuff where they get outfitted with new gear or fresh gear, you know, so they have to salvage what they can from the dead. So that's what I imagine that this guy did. And we've got a couple little bros, you know, so this one has a different bolter on it, a different Iron Warrior's head, you know, just mixing in those bits when I can to try and make these guys a little bit more unique. And for any of you guys who follow Chaos, you know that the Chaos Marine kits are pretty bad. They're pretty bad. They look like butt. I've got a 10-man Chaos Marine, I guess, tactical squad. They may not call it tactical squad, but I've got one built. And I like playing around with bits, so this guy's in the Mark III. This hand is not a Mark III hand, but he's got a little dagger or K-bar, something like that, and his gun, and he looks like he's like, you know, saying, come at me, bro. You'll notice that these don't have shoulder pads on. That's because I'm gonna mask them and do the hazard stripes and stuff before I spray everything else, because they're gonna be silver. And the majority of these look about the same, but some of the cool things I did, I used some of the other old Forge World bits I had laying around. And so I had little bayonets, which looked pretty cool. And not only did I have the regular bayonet, I had the chain, like chainsword, chain bayonet thing, which is kind of cool. Because these squads function differently than tactical Marines, I was able to outfit with 2 special weapons rather than 1 special, 1 heavy. So we're rocking plasma. I mean, why not? Now that is more of the same because I run Dark Angels, but the plasma made more sense to me than the other weapon options. Flamers are going to be more difficult, in my opinion, for the Chaos Tactical Marines to get, you know, to bring to bear because they have no drop pods. They have the same vehicle minus drop pods deployment systems as regular Space Marines, but Flamers, having the shorter range, I feel like they lend themselves better to a drop pod. So I went ahead and axed that one because I didn't think it would work for them. Melta could have been a good option, but I wanted that range 24, and plasma is just really versatile right now, so I went with the plasma, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's probably not terrible. And not having the heavy weapon, I think, is a good idea because, you know, if these guys are moving, they don't take a penalty with that plasma. Additionally, with the Iron Warriors version of Chapter Tactics, Legion Tactics, whatever they call it, they ignore cover. So plasma having, I believe, -3 AP, correct me if I'm wrong, but having -3 AP plus ignoring cover, that's pretty good. Like, you know, hey scouts, you did. Hey tactical Marines, and, you know, cover, it's gonna hurt. So I figured that was kind of cool. Here's another one of the guys with the chain sword, chain bayonet thing, which is cool. And one of the things that any of you guys who followed me know I like to do is I really like posing and doing cool things with the characters, which I guess the sergeants aren't characters now, but whatever. I had a lot of fun building the sergeant here for the tactical squad. I really like the chain sword. I cut off the chaosy bit on the bottom because I didn't like it. You'll notice that these are relatively clean assembly-wise. There's not a lot of chaos stuff. I don't like the chaos mutated things, and I don't like too many of the spiky stuff. Sue me. Don't actually try to sue me, please. But I did order the Forge World Pre-Heresy decals, and my thought process is maybe they got lost in the warp. They came out. They have it, you know, their time perception experience has been different than people who weren't in the warp, so maybe time has not passed at the same rate, so they're still rocking most of the same gear. And then anyone who's got the more chaosy stuff is maybe a new addition or someone they've picked up from another warband, you know, whatever. This is actually the sergeant for the autocannon squad. Now he is rocking a bolt gun. I believe he could do that, but it's kind of cool. He stands out because he's doing something different with his pose. He's reloading, which I thought was kind of cool. And it's nice because I've got these old resin bits with the handle still on it. A lot of the new stuff has the hand already there, so if you wanted him to be holding it this way, you don't have a handle. So it makes assembly faster with the hand being already on there, but like this, you can get some cool posing options. Moving forward, I do have some cool HQs to show you, so let me zoom in and we'll show you those. For Christmas, my sister's boyfriend hooked me up, came in real clutch and got me a couple of Warpsmiths. So I got the pewter one from Forge World, or not Forge World, Games Workshop, which is interesting because right after I got them, it appears that they're no longer available on the website or they were sold out. Don't know if Iron Warriors are all of a sudden really good. I just wanted to play them for fluff reasons, which I don't want to get too much into it right now, but there's a connection between them and the Dark Angels pre-heresy, and that's going to be my 2 armies, so fill in some blanks. But anyway, he came in clutch and he got me some minis for Christmas, which was cool. So he got me this bro right here, and he also got me the other Warpsmith. Now, the interesting thing was these weren't actually on a Christmas list that I specifically asked for. Like, you know how your family will sometimes be like, what would you like for Christmas? Give me a list. So I did. These guys weren't on it. He's actually in the Garrison Facebook group, and he saw me talking to Bob. Bob had asked me if there were any Warhammer miniatures that I could use, and presumably like maybe gift ideas. I listed a bunch of things I was interested in. He saw that post, he saw these, he bought these, which was kind of cool because he caught me off guard, a surprise. I didn't know I was getting these. You know, I put, I think, Intercessors on my Christmas list for Dark Angels. And then I opened these and I was like, because I thought, he's like, I got you, fam. He told me that I was probably getting minis, and I was like, all right, he probably got the box that was on the list. He didn't, but it's still cool because he found stuff I did want, I didn't list, and it was a surprise. So, but anyways, I really dig this Warpsmith with all the tentacle things. I hate that it was Finecast. It was a pain in the butt to assemble, and there's some areas where the details were messed up from the resin, like his little dragon arm here is missing some teeth things. I don't think it's gonna be too bad. We'll just, I mean, he's been around for 10,000 years, maybe his gears got messed up. I don't know. It wasn't bad enough for me to request a replacement from Games Workshop, but it was still frustrating. I don't care for the resin from them most of the time. Forge World doesn't bother me too much. Anyways, I think it looks cool. I had a lot of fun hitting them with the hot water to try and reposition these a little bit. And I tried to get them all kind of coming to this side, so it looks like, you know, all of his tentacles or arms are facing an oncoming horde or a character that's challenging him, and he's like, bring it. And he's got, what is that, 7 arms? Yeah, he's got 7 arms. So it's like, oh, hey, Mr. Space Marine Tech Marine, you have 4 arms or 4 extra arms? Doc Ock over there, I got 7 extra arms. Kind of cool. He looks pretty cool. I think he's gonna be a lot of fun to paint. He's also probably gonna kill my OCD, but I think it'll be fun. So on top of that, I placed an order for this little bro online. Based on the resin color, I don't think he is official. Because he was a limited edition named dude for Iron Warriors. I forget what his name was. I'm sorry, Clan Wolf probably knows. Clan Wolf, do you know? Do you know what his name is? Can you tell me? But it's not too bad. The sculpt could have been a little bit better because, again, this is probably bootleg. He had a little mess up right here on him that I just kind of exaggerated to make it look like his armor had been chipped. So it's not too bad. And his backpack that he came with was pretty mangled, so I had an extra Mark III. So it's not the one that actually comes with the model, but I fashioned that on there so it didn't look too bad. All in all, I don't think that's going to be too bad of a Chaos Lord. He doesn't look too chaosy. And I'll probably do some hazard stripes on his Power Fist, which will look cool. Meta-wise, having the Power Fist for a unit that's just going to stand there, giving some rerolls to Havocs or Predators or something like that, it's probably not the best, but it looks cool, and you know, it is what it is. I do have 2 more characters that I picked up, actually traded for, again, from Michael from the Facebook group. And I'm super excited about these. I'm super excited. So some of you guys on the Facebook group have already seen it. If you're seeing this on Twitch or YouTube and you're not a part of the Garrison, you should be. But if you're not, this will be new to you. So this is one of the guys I traded for. This is one of the Forge World, I don't know, limited edition dudes. I forget where it was. It might have been Warhammer World. The guy that I traded for these from got them at, I believe he said Gen Con, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Michael. But yeah, he traded me these. I built him up. Now in the Chaos Codex, they can't take Thunderhammers, but I'll probably do a proxy, and this will be like the Black Mace. I don't think that's too far of a stretch, but he looks cool because it's Cataphractii Terminator armor, pre-heresy. He's even got this hanging portion here. Yeah, so which really resembles some of the plating that the Warpsmith and stuff has. If you look down there, there's a little codpiece dangling. Those little flat plates really look kind of Tech Marine-ish, so to speak. And I figured that would make this guy a really good candidate to be an Iron Warrior Chaos Lord. So I've got him in his Cataphractii Terminator armor. In the last model, which is by far one of my favorites from the swaps I've made to make the Iron Warriors happen, is this one, which is also from Michael from the Facebook group. We did a pretty big trade. I was real excited when he came in. I got all giddy and I was like, yay! But I walked out with this guy too, built him up. I did cut off his axe head that comes with it. Now this is also one of those Forge World limited edition things from Games Day or something, Warhammer World, I don't know. He said he got this at Gen Con as well. But I put on a Chaos axe head because I thought it would look a little bit better. Plus the other one was kind of small, but it didn't change the overall look of the model too bad. I really love the demon coming out of it, and just the overall sculpt is really cool. So this is gonna be my Chaos Sorcerer for my Iron Warriors. And because I got this guy from him, and I had, you know, a librarian or sorcerer for my forces, I totally ordered some demons. I know. I've fallen way off the path of the non-heretics of the loyal. I've fallen, I've strayed. But he is summoning a demon, and I thought that would be super cool. And I picked up some, what are they called? Plague Bears, I think. So I have a nice hefty unit of those coming. I think they'll be cool because all the characters for the Iron Warriors can summon stuff. So having the opportunity to summon some demons, which seems pretty fluffy, for Chaos would be pretty cool. Plus, Iron Warriors are Chaos Undivided, so I can kind of get away with a lot of things with different types of marks and stuff for Chaos Gods. So it's cool. I'm kind of excited. So that's it for the Iron Warriors showcase. I do have some other models right now that aren't built, that are in the works. I'm waiting on some bits so that I can convert up some vehicles and make those look cool. I got a couple dreads in the works and stuff like that, but I don't want to go too in depth right now in regards to what I've got, because I want to be able to show you guys those types of things in the future. But before we wrap up this video today, I do want to showcase a couple of things that were in the Facebook group, just so I can give you guys some shout outs and props from the garrison. So first up, we're going to talk about some minis from Kenny Wilkinson from Facebook again. He's been blasting through some minis. He's doing a lot of commission work, and he's got some cool looking Reavers he's posted up in the group. I totally see some guardsmen behind him that I almost thought were Pathfinders because of the Tau looking colors, but the plasma guns gave it away. So these guys are looking really, really cool. Love the poses. I think Reavers are particularly cool. I've heard they're not very good in 40K. I don't know because I don't follow as well as I should. But these definitely look cool. I love the blue, baby bluish, grayish color of Space Wolves. Particularly, I like the more gray side, but the red, the yellow, and the black always complement Space Wolves really well. So I dig these. Thanks for sharing the axe so far on, I don't know if that's a Wolf Lord or a Sergeant. I'm assuming because he's been Primaris armor, that's probably a Sergeant of some sort. That axe looks pretty cool. I like that it appears that part of the axe is black and the blade itself is silver, which is pretty cool. Actually, the pocket knife that I carry is the same way. So it looks very realistic. I dig that. Kenny has also posted some other miniatures to the Facebook group this week, or another miniature, I should say, and I'm really excited about showcasing that one. I'm not sure what it's called. It's some kind of Age of Sigmar. We'll call them Sigmarines, but Stormcast, that faction. Some kind of angel-looking dude, but these minis look great. I believe he said he was using Badger Minotaur Ghost Tints, I think. I believe I saw him say Ghost Tints, which generally means Badger paints. Most people that talk about Ghost Tints are talking about that. If they're not talking about Badger, I think they usually say Candy Coats. But he may have been using something different. Regardless, this looks pretty sweet. In particular, I really like the wings, that blue as the shadow coming at him. If he was going for that as a shadow, it might have been just like supposed to be like the light emanating. But that blue looks really, really good, and just all in all, this model looks really sweet. The back looks sweet too. Actually, I hadn't seen that one until just now. The back looks really cool. I don't know anything about Age of Sigmar, so I can't say much other than the model looks cool. I'm not against trying it sometime, but I've got to get I've got to get my other projects done. You guys may have also realized I didn't mention Infinity this week during the vlog, and that's because I'm missing parts. I'm waiting on them to ship parts, and their email said they wouldn't be back in until January 6th, which sucks. I was really excited to actually start painting those because I have like 10 models to get painted. Bob actually picked up some models, and some guys from Death Thread Designs are also on board to start filming battle reports for Infinity. So you guys that follow our 40K fans may be going, no, but you may get exposed to different minis in a different game that you might like, which is cool. I think I'm also supposed to be filming sometime soon a how to play Infinity game with a guy that's part of the Death Thread Designs gaming group. His name's Asa. He's got enough painted stuff to do 2 small forces and supposed to run me through a demo. I think we're gonna film that and actually throw it up on social media and the interwebs so you guys can see what we're doing, which I think will be cool. I'm also slotted to, at some point in the near future, film Legion with Adam, who is the co-owner of Death Thread Designs, and one of the other guys from their gaming group. And I believe Adam's also going to run me through a Kill Team how to play segment that we will also film, so you guys can see me learn. It can be a little bit more informal, less structured, and just kind of hang out and learn the game. So some of you guys may be interested in that, some may not, but that's kind of what's coming, and that'll give us options for doing 40K battle reports, Kill Team battle reports and campaigns, and Infinity battle reports and campaigns as well. So there'll be a lot of cool content. Additionally, moving on this year, I think we're going to be trying to get some more tutorial stuff done too. We got a lot of really good feedback from the 12 Days series and during the Christmas holidays. We want to capitalize and do more tutorial stuff. So if there's anything that you would really like to see us do, let us know in the comments, post it on Facebook. Austin sees these things, and if he doesn't see it, I make sure he sees it. Once I get to a point where I'm not so focused on painting my own minis, I would like to also maybe start filming some tutorial stuff too. So, bear with us, as we move forward for, this upcoming year. There's gonna be a lot of changes, a lot of new stuff that we're trying to do. So, we will always be trying to improve and do new things. Jeff Billingsley, which is Psycho from Twitch, posted some tamales. I know you didn't paint these, but they look real tasty, so thanks for sharing your food, especially because I haven't eaten yet. Damn you. All right. So we've got some photos of a battle that Chris, I always mess up your name, Chris. Chris Oakes. Chris Oakes. I don't know why I want to say Ox. Chris Oakes. Played a 2v2, I think 6,000 or 7,000 point Apocalypse style game, and he's got some cool photos. It looks like he played with Dark Angels and his Blood Angels and Guard, which is pretty cool. It seems fluffy. Also, it looks like the majority of his side of the table was painted. I'm not going to dust my shoulders off too much, but some of that was because of me. Some of it was because of me. Those models look pretty good, Chris. I think his game actually didn't go as well as they wanted. He was being a bit more casual with it, and the other guys were playing a lot of Forge World heavy-hitting models, which stinks. But that's the problem with Apocalypse, and just the problem with kind of 40K in general is you almost really just need to have a conversation with the people you're going to play with before you play, so that you can make sure you have a good game. Because if they bring a list that you can't really fight because you don't have the right models, it's almost not worth playing. It makes sense. In previous editions, that would come up where, I think it was 7th, someone brought a whole night list, and you didn't bring stuff to counter that, you really couldn't do much. Now, you might win scenario, but for the 2 hours you're going to play 40K that day, one player blows up your models, you throw models on objectives to get points, rinse, wash, and repeat, and that's just where the polar opposite lists don't do well against each other. At least in 8th edition that's changed a little bit, but in this case for Apocalypse, they did not have as good of a game as they wanted. Now, he did say, I think this weekend they're supposed to have played another 2v2, I think 6,000 points, and supposedly there's more oversight and discussion about what's going to be fun for both sides. So I'll be looking forward to see what photos he posts up from that and getting his little description. But all in all, I'm really excited to see painted minis as well as photos of gameplay, which is really cool to me, especially because I don't get to play that much. So it's exciting. Finally, let's throw up some minis from a couple different people here that we don't see too much. So Quentin Starkeater Tanquerel? Probably said this wrong. This looks like, I don't know if this is a Dark Eldar model or some kind of demon, but it looks good, dude. These wings, those wings look real nice, man. The spots, the little it's eluding me. Whatever you call it, look like cancerous little spots. Someone will probably know what those are called. Those look good. The little veins and stuff look good. Like, these look great, dude. So I'm really excited. Keep sharing. Let us see how these turn out, how the overall model turns out. The wings look great already. I'll be curious to see how it all comes together. So yeah, I mean, that's real sincere. Thank you for sharing that. It's interesting. It's very different. It's very organic compared to the 40K armor stuff that I'm used to seeing. Not that the armor is bad, but I'm used to seeing armor, so seeing something organic miniature-wise is also pretty cool. And finally, we've got some photos from Juan Carlos Gustavo Hernandez. Juan Carlos Gustavo Hernandez. My accent's probably pretty bad, but if I was close to pronouncing that right, I should get like half points. But it looks like you've got some Blackstone Fortress minis here. Let's run through these. I know this is a Kroot mini. I really love the sculpt on this. If all Kroot looked like this, I think we would get more Kroot on the table for Tau. I'm not sure what this robot is. Is he actually one of the old Men of Iron? Is that what they're calling him? One of the videos I watched on YouTube was saying that it might be. If it is a Man of Iron in the Blackstone Fortress, and you guys aren't familiar, wiki page that, YouTube that, the Men of Iron are responsible for basically the downfall of the old Imperium of Man before it became the Imperium of Man, the old humanity, when we were like gods in the stars for technology. These guys are the reason that we fell. So if you're not familiar with them, think like typical sci-fi robot rebellion, like Skynet meets Geth from Mass Effect with like AI. You know, it's fascinating. So check that out. I'm not sure what this guy with the giant Aquila above his head is, but he really reminds me of something from Fifth Element, so that looks cool. The basing looks really good too. I know that these come with their own bases from the box, but the bases look pretty sweet. This dude right here with his inquisitorial dealio, I guess he's part of the ecclesiarchy. He's one of their little religious people. Looks pretty cool. It actually reminds me of something from War Machine. What are those guys called? Protector of Minoth. He reminds me of a Minoth model. But yeah, that's nicely done, dude. Looks cool. I love the servo skull. Oh man, whew. Next up, you got that Eldar Ranger guy. That's ballin', man. That's really good. And in particular, that looks like you attempted some wet blending on the blade with that purple. Very nice. Looks great, man. I dig it. Mr. Guy smoking a cigarette. Also pretty cool. I'm not sure what's on his shoulder. The pelt. I don't know what that is, but it's kind of cool. I much prefer Inquisitors myself. I don't know what he actually is, but I prefer Inquisitors. They look cool. I was actually looking at my unassembled, unpainted Eisenhorn last night, and I really need to get him built at some point, painted, and I need to get a Demon Host model for him. I'm thinking about getting something from Artel. If you guys are familiar with him, he does third-party stuff. He's got a cool-looking Demon Host that looks way better than the old GW Pewter one, so I might pick that up. The definitely not Sister of Battle with the Flamer looks pretty cool. Nice job on the flames. I actually think I commented on that when you posted it on Facebook, and I said, this is looking hot, or something like that. Squats look really good. Do they actually have, these guys have rules in 40K, right? Like, these are Ratlings, but squats, I guess. Does the box have data slates for 40K? I think it does. I feel like these guys are pretty good. I think they do something when they're duoed together. If they move together, they're so close, they do something. Like one's like a spotter and one's the shooter, something like that. They look really cool. I might want to paint those sometime. They're kind of cute. So yeah, and it looks like that was the last one you shared. So Juan Carlos, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. But that's going to be it for our kind of hobby showcase from the Garrison this week. So everyone that had miniatures showcased, thank you for sharing. Anyone who has not, which John Rhodes, that's you. We need a hobby update from you, sir. We haven't seen anything this week, at least I don't think so. So get on that, man. You were blasting us with middies for a long time. Are you busy? What's going on? Do I need to get over there and cross the water and crack the whip? Actually, he might like that. He's kind of he's kind of an interesting individual. He may turn that on me, so let's not go that route, John. But yeah, so if any of you guys from the Garrison would like to continue sharing your work with us, please do. I like seeing it. It keeps me motivated, keeps other people motivated. And there may be that off week where you don't share something because you're not motivated, someone else does, and you go, you know what, that mini looks good, I want to paint too, and that gets you going. So in closing, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I'd also like to remind you I will be back on Twitch very soon. Ideally, I'd like to be back up next weekend, which would be the second week of January, I think, whatever the date is on that. Maybe the 12th? Stay the 5th? 6th? Sometime next weekend. I'd like to be up. We'll see if we can do that. If not, I will be coming back soon. As with previous videos, I'd like to encourage you guys to check out deathraydesigns.com. That is the company that I'm working with now. So I've mentioned in previous videos that I started by doing commission work for Austin when it was Brush for Hire. I am now part of the DRD team. I'm helping run laser cutters. I'm helping do video content, give feedback on some of the prototypes for terrain, give kind of product idea suggestions and stuff like that. So I'm taking on a much different role versus commissions, and I'm doing a lot over at Death Ray Designs. So if you enjoy this video, if you enjoy the battle reports, if you enjoy the tutorials, even stuff that I'm not in directly, I am helping film, I'm helping edit behind the scenes. If you like this content, check out deathraydesigns.com. I know it's a shameless self-plug, but any products and stuff that you may buy there really helps support what I'm doing and support the company. If the company does well, I get to keep making video content. And, you know, in the near future, keep streaming, because I'll be streaming from here. So that'll be really cool. If you have any questions on how to paint anything, assemble anything, or just general ideas or questions, concerns about the products, feel free to, you know, chime off on Facebook. And Austin or myself will get back to you for sure. If you're interested in seeing something different that we don't offer, especially if it's something different, like something cool that you just be like, why don't they make this? Let us hear your idea or your suggestion or your challenge. One of the things that Austin really likes to do is create new things and new ideas, new suggestions, generally get his, you know, creative juices flowing. So if there's something you'd like to see, chances are he'd be interested in seeing if he can tackle that, if it's a realistic product or design to bring to bear. So I would like to encourage all you guys, though, if you haven't already, check out the Garrison Facebook page, continue sharing your minis. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're over on Twitch, or if you're over on YouTube viewing this. Like, subscribe, follow, all those things. Particularly on Twitch when I'm coming back. I'd like for you guys to tune in live and have some nice chats with me. So with that being said, folks, like, we're gonna wrap up today. I'm gonna try and work on these commissions, and hopefully next week you'll get to see some new hobby updates with at least assembly on the Iron Warrior stuff that I'm continuing, but maybe some painting, so we'll see. But with that being said, folks, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. And as always, stay positive, stay excited, get your hobby on, and happy wargaming.